Okay, so we got some other cars out here, and we're going to talk about these cars. We have the new CanAm Maverick R. We've got a Pro R. This is probably a 2024. And then we've got Jason's personal car. I've ridden in Jason's car. It's a basher. This thing can take anything. We've gone out to Desert Bar, just gone out ripping, and it's a basher, but it's all about all the components that they sell plus more. So Jason, if you could just like break this car apart and point out what you build, what you sell, and what you're showing off on your personal car.
This one's one of our standard recreational style build vehicles. One of the things that sets us apart by most of the other builders is the rear end that we offer for these cars. It's basically, I came up with it, it's a tire holder with a storage box in it. Another feature that we've been adding is extra fuel. Most of these cars, especially the Pro R, sucks down the fuel. They barely get 80 miles to one tank. So we're adding 10 gallons of fuel to this car, and now we are offering it on the Mav R also. This one has our standard flat roof Baja style cage on it. Vision lights, we run a lot of vision lights. Joe at Vision does a really good job for us. This one has the jet trim seats on it. PCI intercoms, we solely run the PCI radio and intercom. So the whole family, the Steinberger family's doing great for us.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that. You're not just a PCI fan, but the performance and the way they work with the off-road community, there's a little bit to that too.
They have great support. You go to any of the races, they're at every single race supporting the community. It's not just a money thing for them, it's a life for them. It's a great program that they run. They help everyone out. Scott goes up on the hill and does the weatherman for the races, so we like to support them, and because they support the whole community.
That's awesome. And they build a great product. Now Morgan Motorsports, in the Maverick R, they have a custom built-in unit. Why don't you talk a little bit more about that, how you integrate the PCI radio into the cage?
We actually, on that vehicle, because the dash is hard to, they don't offer a lot of room for add-ons, so we built it actually up into the roof. It's actually really accessible for the driver and co-dog to get to. Another great thing about it up there is it keeps it out of the elements, out of the rain, out of people washing. So a great little package that we come up on that car.
That's cool. A couple other things about your personal Pro R. I like to look at it as an accessory build. You got the bumper, you got the windshield, you got the roof. You have, if you look closely, this is not just your standard light bar. This light bar is super, super tough. All of the Vision X lighting, they've got their mirror of choice. This is Jason's mirror of choice. And I have had them on my first Maverick R, and they're going on my second Maverick R as well. And they are really tough. They can hit branches. They do really well. He's got the jet trim seats, and then he's got his trunk. He's got shock covers that they custom built in their shop, and a host of other things. But this car is always at the shop. If you want to sneak around it, it's usually by the Morgan Motorsports sign. And this is an easy thing to do, to bring your car in and say, hey, I want this, but I just want it in my colors. And
the good thing about this package is we inventory all these components: the bumper, the cage, the rear end. Other thing we have in stock all the time is a load of iBox springs. Every single vehicle out there needs to be. I don't care, CanAm, Polaris, the OEM springs are horrible. So we set vehicles up, especially in Havasu. It's the most brutal terrain in the world. So yeah, you need to respring your car. So we run a lot of iBox springs.
Yeah, and I testified at iBox too. I had them on my Pro R, and they wanted to try them out on my Maverick R. And to be honest, I was out there head to head with some MTS and some other suspension kits, and my Maverick R did really, really well. Went out to Glamis, got a little bucking in the rear, called Morgan Motorsports. They gave me the quick lowdown on how to adjust them and how far to adjust them and how to measure them. Did the quick adjustment in camp and just knocked it out of the park. So these guys know what they're doing. They wouldn't put the iBox springs on my car if they didn't know what they're doing. So that was a cool experience for me, and kind of, you know, gave me a lot of faith in their shop, just trying something out on me that they've never done before and being so confident that it would work. The season's gonna come up quick. So if you're buying a new car and you wanna get it outfitted pretty quick, these guys, if you pick these parts that they already have, I mean, you're talking getting in the shop, and this is like a few day turnaround, like a few days.
By the time you pick your colors and we get whatever seats you want in, whatever lights you want in, we can build this car right here turnkey in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's what I meant. All the parts and everything, but if you want to do the custom powder coating and all that, like a 2-week turnaround is nothing for a build like this. Usually, this takes a long time. All right, so Jason, let's talk about this build. This is a recent build out of your shop. This has your custom rear end. Super, super trick, man. You got your extra fuel, custom vents. You've got extra tie downs. You got the logo in there. But this car has a lot more than that. Can you kind of go over what the customer wanted in this build and what you did to it?
So Jeff Callahan called me up and said, hey, I want to do a pre-runner. So basically figure out what level he wants to go. And he still didn't even know at that point in time what level he wanted to go. Now this car is going to be a NORA car, but originally it was just going to be a pre-runner. They do a lot of Baja. We do a lot of cars for a lot of the Baja teams, the race teams that they're great pre-runners for Baja. They can carry a lot. They can go anywhere. And as long as we can add storage to it, spare tires and more fuel, they love the package. So Jeff wanted it beefy, and he just kept adding to what he wanted because they decided to go do NORA now with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're running the bigger radius rods. We almost always do the Gibson exhaust. Sean Gibson, he great guy, always helps us out. And a couple of the unique features that we're adding onto this. We're going to bring this down so they can see. We're doing a lot of Starlinks now. You get service everywhere. Down in Baja, the whole length of Baja, you get service no matter what. And then we're doing a lot of these jacks right here. Traco jacks, the Mixter. Great jack. It's just you use your impact, lift the car up, change the tire, you're gonna mount it back on here. Works
Super
really
fast.
Really fast, simple, great product. Other thing we offer is we build axle clamps, so we can carry spare axles on the vehicle the whole time. So we have 2 axles in here, front and rear, and then he just added on more fuel. So we added 2 more, I think they're 5-gallon each tanks inside the vehicle. And this is just going to be a NORA car now, so the back seats are not going to be used anymore.
So he's got 10 gallons here, 5 gallons there.
Total of 10 inside also now.
Total of 10 in,
Yeah. He's running
10 extra inside.
Yeah, he's running about 30 gallons of fuel now.
30 gallon. Okay, this is like the perfect NORA car. And if you don't know what NORA is, it's a fun Baja race. Really fun Baja race. I'm hoping to do that one this year too. But that's crazy. So he could do a whole day in this, no problem.
Oh, definitely.
No problem.
Yeah, and we're making the Garmin mount also, so the passengers right in front of the passenger, they can they call out the road and everything, the path for the driver.
And so you have rapid refresh with the Starlink. This car is built right. This is a really neat build. It's a good looking build. You know, they take off the taillights, put on their own custom taillights. But this is a perfect pre-runner, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. The theme here is these are, you built these to be pre-runners. This is now a race runner, and I would have a lot of faith in this car. This is a perfect Baja car. Lots of fuel, and the Pro R platform is really great with its reliability. The axles are good, the motor, there's no issue, and you always have power when you put your foot down.
It's a fun vehicle to drive.
Very fun vehicle to drive. And the suspension modes are great. This is kind of a no-brainer for Baja. I mean, this has the fresh air to helmets, the PCI comms. They've got air ducts going into the firewall, eye box springs. And the nice thing about the Pro R is you really don't have to upgrade the brakes, do you?
Yep.
No, brakes are good, steering's good, that's all good. But a lot of shock therapy parts, a lot of little custom extras here and there. This is a great car. I didn't even realize what you were doing with this car. That's really cool. Can't wait to see how it does. All right, so I want to start this out. You've got a full cage in here that integrates into the spare tire system. But you know, these Can-Ams, they have a C-pillar that just kind of goes into the plastic and then it just ends. Robbie Gordon kind of came up with a term called the Bluetooth C-pillar. So tell us why. I mean, I don't need to, I can explain why it's stronger, but I want to hear it from you. But because one of these cages saved my life. I didn't have the cage all the way to the rear end. So let's talk about how it all integrates and why your cage is more safe.
Really what we're doing is we're tying it back to the chassis, which like you said, the Bluetooth C-pillar, it was just going into the plastics. It didn't do anything. Another thing that we offer is the boxed B-pillar with just a huge amount of support there. And we run crossbars. Another thing that we offer on this car, which not a lot of builders do, is the A+, and it does go down into the chassis. It's not just a fake A+.
Yeah.
It ties down into the chassis.
So this pillar goes all the way down and ties into the chassis, where the stock is just this pillar right here, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Super strong cage. And I like how everything integrates, you know, into the rear end here. Now this rear end is just all storage, but they do cut a shorty pipe that goes down into the base, and it just gives it that custom look, and it sounds really good too. So they've got the mixer jack, the chase light built into the cage, whips, comms, and they put the GPS in here. Of course, methods and tensors. This is kind of like this build. This build doesn't take too long either, right?
No, all these components we have in stock also.
Yeah, all these components are in stock. This is something where you can take your Maverick R in and make it look and feel really custom. And before I get into the way that it feels, I don't have one of these rear ends yet. But tell us about how this makes the Maverick R perform.
It settles the car down. Most of these two-seaters, the wheelbase is just so tight on it that the rear end, it's hard to keep the rear end planted on these things. You put a little weight back there behind the axle there, it just settles the rear end. You can plant it into the corner, and you can rail it out of the corner. It doesn't want to do the hopping, lifting, and everything.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, it really does. It looks like it balances the car out, and you know, it makes the car. The Maverick R is not the best looking car on the market
until you come to us.
Until you come to them, and now the thing looks killer. So great job on this one.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning into the channel. As you can see, if you have a custom build or you want to get your car turned into a pre-runner style, get it over to Morgan Motorsports. They have stuff in stock when it comes to the shocks, the bumpers, the cages, and you can make it look however you want. Custom do it at Morgan Motorsports. These guys do a great job. And thank you for watching.